Hey Luca, how was the party last night?
Really good. Listen, Jack, I have a question about, coming out.
Really? I thought you were already out.
As bisexual, yes. But not as. You know.
Aha, you're talking about being kinky.
You have to admit, explaining BDSM to vanilla people has its own set of challenges.
Exactly right. And a major factor is that there is less awareness about what it really is, as compared to public awareness of gay, lesbian, bisexual and transgender identities.
And isn't there a whole debate about kink identity, like whether it's a sexual orientation?
Hold on, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. Remember, you'll need to keep the information pretty basic.
Good point. But how do I even begin?
I'd say your first step is to ask yourself what being kinky means to you, including how important it is in your life.
You mean setting the starting point. And then after that?
Now ask yourself, who, why, and when.
Who am I coming out to?
Why are you coming out to them?
And when should I do so?
Remember that coming out is a gradual process. You are not telling the whole world every detail of your sex life. You're choosing to be honest about this aspect of your life, when and with whom you decide it's appropriate.
So are you saying there are different ways of coming out?
Definitely. Most of the time, you're simply mentioning to the right person, in the right context, about your involvement with BDSM. And then, when they need and want to know more, you can answer their questions.
Some kinksters believe that there's no reason to do that. They say, don't scare the villagers.
Well, that certainly made sense decades ago, but time and practical reality has changed that. It's a good idea, for example, that your doctor knows about your involvement. And if you have roommates, or live with or near family, the issue is bound to come up. Besides, the villagers already know we exist. We now need to find ways to assure them they don't have to be scared.
I can see having to explain things in those cases. But, is there ever a good time to just bring it up?
Remember, Luca, kink and fetish imagery have been entering mainstream media more and more.
Like Lady Heather on CSI.
A very good example, and one which someone you know might bring up in conversation.
And once they do, and we get to the point when they start asking questions, how do I answer them?
Like I said before, keep it pretty basic. They may have heard of the acronym BDSM, but not that it's a combination of 3 acronyms.
B and D, for bondage and discipline.
D and S, for dominance and submission.
And SM, for sadomasochism.
It's the SM part that likely to raise the most concerns with people, because it evokes images of brutality and harm.
That's when I should explain the concept of safe words, right?
Yes, and the principles of SSC. Safe, sane, consensual. Compare what we do with mountain climbing, for example.
We take classes and safety precautions, just like mountain climbers.
We make sure everyone is in a proper frame of mind to do this.
And most important, we make sure everyone fully understands and agrees to what's going on.
Also, none of this is done in isolation. We have a global community to which we turn for support and guidance, from local educational and social groups to print and internet resources.
I can understand assuring those who care about me that I am doing all I can to be safe. But are there other reasons they should know?
As safe as we are with one another, there are outsiders who would deprive us of our rights and freedoms.
You mean like the religious right, and their efforts to get BDSM community events closed down?
And don't forget that many kinksters have faced discrimination or even found themselves arrested for their private consensual sexual expression.
I can imagine that most of my vanilla friends would be very upset about such treatment.
Now imagine that they have the information to help educate more people about these issues. There's no guarantee that they will do that, but remember that many of the most vocal supporters of LGBT rights have been heterosexual friends and family. So you never know just how much of a ripple effect your coming out could have.
I can see that happening over time. But I can also see some people responding negatively, or telling me this is too much information.
And of course you should take care what information you present, how you present it, and at the level the other person can understand. Most vanilla people don't need or want to know about flogging or bondage technique. For example, they will most likely ask why you were drawn to this, why it's important to you. But even when you are mindful of what you say and how you convey it, there will always be those who object to the mere mention of unconventional sexuality.
Just like those who think my walking hand in hand with my girlfriend is some militant act.
You're not responsible for others taking offense. You can only do your best not to give offense.
Well, Jack, this has been a big help. Thanks a lot.
Anytime, Luca. And good luck.